हेलो एवरीवन, दिस इज राम अवतार त्यागी और आप देख रहे हैं मेरा यूट्यूब चैनल। तो आज का टॉपिक है पेप्टिक अल्सर डिजीज। पेप्टिक अल्सर डिजीज क्या है आप देखिए। इट इज द होल और ओपन सोर इन द लाइनिंग ऑफ द स्टमक, duodenum, beginning of the small intestine और esophagus। क्या है ये देखिए। Actually, it is a sore that can be seen in the picture in the lining of the esophagus, in the stomach and in the duodenum. Peptic refers to pepsin, a stomach enzyme that breaks ammonia, neutralize the acidic environment in the stomach, which explains the difficulty in destroying the H. pylori bacterium. Ammonia is toxic to the epithelial cells and damages them, hence the beginning of a stomach ulcer taken its course. So how can diagnosing H. pylori through blood samples, breath, stool examination and tissue test. Diagnosing H. pylori through blood tests are most common. They detect antibodies to H. pylori bacteria. Blood sample is taken for test. Second one is urea breath test are an effective diagnostic method for H. pylori. They are also used after treatment to see whether it worked. In the doctor's office, the patient drinks a urea solution that contains a special carbon atom. If H. pylori is present, it breaks down the urea, releasing the carbon. The blood carries the carbon to the lungs where the patient exhales it. The breath is accurate. Stool test detects H. pylori infection in the patient's fecal matter. Helicobacter pylori stool antigen, which is known as HPSA test, is accurate for diagnosing H. pylori. Tissue tests are done using the biopsy sample that is removed with the endoscope. Coffee, cola, spicy foods, these are some factors that causes peptic ulcer. Types of peptic ulcer basically are three types: duodenal, gastric and esophageal. Zollinger-Ellison syndrome, severe peptic ulcer plus gastric hyperacidity, gastronoma, islet cell tumor in pancreas, कर्लिंग अल्सर। ड्यूडिनल एंड गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर में आप डिफरेंस देखिए क्या क्या है। ड्यूडिनल अल्सर DU एंड गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर GU। आपको बेसिक डिफरेंसेस आपको समझ में आएंगे कि क्या क्या है। देखिए क्या क्या डिफरेंस है। कंपैरिजन बिटवीन ड्यूडिनल एंड गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर। ड्यूडिनल अल्सर 30 से 60 साल की उम्र में आपको देखने को मिलता है और जनरली गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर यूजुअली 50 इयर्स एंड अबव में देखने को मिलता है। और ये ड्यूडिनल अल्सर अधिकतर 2 से 3 फीमेल्स में देखने को मिलता है और एक मेल में, यानी इसका अनुपात 2:3:1 देखने को मिलता है मेल टू मेल में। और वहीं 50 इयर्स गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर जो है आपको बराबर रेशियो में देखने को मिलता है, मेल टू फीमेल रेशियो अगर निकालते हैं तो। ड्यूडिनल अल्सर 80% ऑफ पेप्टिक अल्सर आर ड्यूडिनल देखने को मिलते हैं, इनमें अदर प्रकार के अल्सर्स नहीं होते। और गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर के केसेस जो है 15% से अधिक नहीं होते। ये 15% लोगों में गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर के केस देखने को मिलते हैं। और भी ढेर सारे डिफरेंसेस हैं, जिनमें से हाइपर सीक्रेशन ऑफ HCl इन ड्यूडिनल अल्सर एंड हाइपो सीक्रेशन ऑफ HCl इन गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर। वेट गेन होता है ड्यूडिनल अल्सर में, गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर में वेट लॉस होता है। पेन 2 से 3 घंटे होता है ड्यूडिनल अल्सर में, जब हम जागते हैं, often awakened between 1 to 2 AM, ingestion of food relieves pain। जब भी हम खाना खा लेंगे तो ड्यूडिनल अल्सर के केस में जो है पेन रिलीव हो जाता है, वहीं गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर के केस में ऐसा नहीं होता है, खाना खाने के बावजूद भी दर्द होता है। पेन अकर्स 1 to 2 to 1 hour आफ्टर मील, यानी आधे से 1 घंटे तक दर्द होता है, खाना खाने के आधे से 1 घंटे के बाद जो है पेन स्टार्ट होता है। रियरली अकर्स एट नाइट, रात में बहुत कम देखने को ऐसा मिलता है। एंड इट मे बी रिलीव्ड बाय वॉमिटिंग, जैसे ही वॉमिट हो जाएगा तो हमें दर्द से राहत भी मिल जाती है। ड्यूडिनल अल्सर में वॉमिटिंग अनकॉमन है और गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर में वॉमिटिंग मोस्ट कॉमन है। एक दो डिफरेंसेस और हैं, जैसे कि एच पाइलोरी, अल्कोहल, स्मोकिंग, सिरोसिस, स्ट्रेस, ये ड्यूडिनल अल्सर के कॉजेस हैं और गैस्ट्रिक अल्सर के कॉजेस में है एच पाइलोरी, गैस्ट्राइटिस, अल्कोहल, स्मोकिंग, NSAID, स्ट्रेस। So this is about the differences. Now what is esophageal ulcer? An esophageal ulcer is a hole in the lining of the esophagus corroded by the acidic digestive juices secreted by the stomach cells. An esophageal ulcer is usually located in the lower section of esophagus. Esophageal ulcer are not contagious, यानी आप समझ लीजिए कि ये contagious नहीं होता है। Esophageal ulcers may be a symptom of another disease or condition. Bleeding from esophageal ulcer may cause iron deficiency anemia. It is often associated with chronic GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. Now Zollinger-Ellison syndrome, a large amount of excess, आप इस पिक्चर के माध्यम से देख सकते हैं कि जोलिंगर एलिसन ट्यूमर पैंक्रियास के अंदर आपको नजर आ रही है। A large amount of excess acid is produced in response to the overproduction of the hormone gastrin, which in turn is caused by tumors of the pancreas or duodenum. These tumors are usually malignant, must be removed and acid production suppressed to relieve the recurrence of the ulcer. Curling's ulcer. Curling's ulcer is an acute peptic ulcer of the duodenum resulting as a complication from severe burn when reduced plasma volume leads to swelling of the gastric mucosa. These stress ulcers were once a common complication of serious burns, especially common in child burn victims. They result in perforation and hemorrhage and had corresponding high mortality rates. These are few complications of the peptic ulcer, such as bleeding. As an ulcer erodes the muscles of the stomach or duodenal wall, blood vessels may also be damaged, which causes the bleeding over a period of time. The patient becomes anemic, can be treated endoscopically by locating the ulcer and cauterizing the BV with heating device or injected with a material to stop bleeding. Now, in the perforation complication, sometimes ulcer eats a hole in wall of the stomach or duodenum. Bacteria and partially digested food can spill through the opening. Peptic ulcer bleeding. अगर कॉम्प्लिकेशन के तौर पे आपको ब्लीडिंग दिख रही है तो क्या क्या हो सकता है? 5% ऑफ द इमरजेंसी एडमिशंस ड्यू टू ब्लीडिंग, 80% स्टॉप स्पॉन्टेनियसली। ब्लीडिंग अगर हो रही है तो 80% केसेस में क्या होता है, अपने आप ही बंद हो जाती है। 10% ऑफ पेशेंट्स डाई फ्रॉम द ब्लीडिंग एंड रीब्लीडिंग इंक्रीजेस मोर्टालिटी बाय 10x। अगर किसी को बार बार ब्लीडिंग हो रही है पेप्टिक अल्सर के कारण तो ये उसकी मृत्यु दर को 10 गुना ज्यादा बढ़ा देता है। नेक्स्ट, बेरियम एक्सरे एग्जामिनेशन is less responsive method of diagnostic peptic ulcer, but X-ray examination does have some limitation. It is unable to define mucosal disease X gastritis. It is not definitive in differentiating benign from malignant gastric ulcer. It cannot delineate superficial, subacute, gastric or duodenal erosion. It cannot define complete healing of an ulcer. Furthermore, receptors present on the wall membrane of the parietal cells in stomach. M1 receptor, gastrin receptor, S2 receptor. Next, these are treatment strategy: changing lifestyle, use of medicine, and अगर ये दोनों ही चीजें फेल हो रही हैं तो तीसरा ऑप्शन बचता है हमारे पास सर्जरी। तो क्या क्या कर सकते हैं हम? व्हाट इज द एम ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट? टू एलिमिनेट द सोर्स ऑफ द पेशेंट प्रॉब्लम, टू प्रमोट हीलिंग ऑफ अल्सर, टू prevent complication of ulcer, to prevent recurrence of ulcer by maintenance therapy, to relieve the symptoms, pain, vomiting, blood loss, etc. This is the basic aim. Now, what are the treatment methodology and drugs used to relieve the peptic ulcer disease? So, start from anti-secretory drugs. They reduce the gastric acid secretion. Second one, antibiotic to kill H. pylori like bacteria. And third, cytoprotective drug having mucosal protective properties. So, anti-secretory drugs has three types of actions: S2 blocker, first line treatment of peptic ulcer; proton pump inhibitor, anti-muscarinic drug; and the third type, cytoprotective drug, having four types of drugs: sucralfate, bicylates, antacids, and misoprostol. Anti-secretory drugs: S2 blocker, proton pump inhibitor, and anti-muscarinic drug. S2 antihistamine का mode of action क्या है? So these are competitive antagonists with histamine on S2 receptor found on the parietal cells of the stomach, so they can reduce gastric acid secretion. So this is the series of events with this drug, S2 histamine drugs. Ranitidine can be used with the sample. Nazitidine can be used. Proton pump inhibitors mode of action: they irreversibly inhibit H pump or H and K ATPs, which is an enzyme in the cell membrane of the oxyntic or parietal cells. They block the final step or HCl secretion. So this is the proton pump inhibitor series drugs: rabeprazole, omeprazole. Anti-muscarinic drug mechanism of action: they are selective M1 antagonists. They are used in the combination with S2 blocker because histamines is the main mediator of the HCl secretion. These are muscarinic drugs. Examples: bismuth chelates mode of action: they have mucosal protectivity activity, increase prostaglandin, increase bicarbonate, and increase mucus production. They have toxic effect of the Helicobacter pylori, can be used for first line treatment with S2 blocker if Helicobacter infection is positive. What are the side effects? So blackening of the tongue, teeth, and stools is the side effects of bismuth chelates. Misoprostol cytotonic mechanism of action: it causes misoprostol cytotonic mechanism of action. It causes mucosal protection by increasing mucus and bicarbonate production, decreasing gastric HCl secretion. It is only used for prevention of NSAID induced ulceration in patient with high risk, elderly, smokers, patient with history of gastric bleeding. Side effects are gastrointestinal disturbances, vomiting, diarrhea, colic due to prostaglandin induced smooth muscle contraction, gynecological disturbances such as spotting and dysmenorrhea, uterine contractions, contraindicated in pregnancy because they causes abortion. Next, antacid. Mode of action used for symptomatic relief. They act via neutralization of the gastric acid, AI hydroxide, constipation, Mg hydroxide, diarrhea or trisilicate. So a mixture of aluminum or magnesium is used in combination with H2 blocker and to relieve the symptoms of hyperacidity. Antibiotics. H. pylori can be very difficult to completely eradicate. Treatment requires a combination of several drugs, several antibiotics, sometimes in combination with a proton pump inhibitor, H2 blockers, or bichelate. Without such treatment, there is an 80% chance to the ulcer will recur within 1 year. So, an effective combination would be amoxicillin, metronidazole, and pantoprazole. So, advice for the duodenal ulcer patients: fiber slows the movement of food and acidic fluid from the stomach to the intestine, which should help those with duodenal ulcer. So, advice to take more fiber in their diets. Lifestyle changes that may be helpful. So, aspirin and related drugs, NSAID, alcohol, coffee, and tea can interfere with the healing of peptic ulcer. Smoking is also known to slow ulcer healing. So, whether or not an ulcer is caused by infection, people with peptic ulcer should avoid use of these substances like NSAID, alcohol, coffee, tea, etc. Also avoid to smoking. Nutritional supplements that may be very helpful, such as vitamin A, is needed to heal the linings of the stomach and intestine. Second, high dose should not be taken by a pregnant woman, by a woman who could become pregnant, or by anyone else without careful supervision of a doctor. Third, the effect of lower amounts of vitamin A has not been studied in people with peptic ulcer. Zinc is also needed for the repair of damaged tissue and has protected against stomach ulceration in animal studies. Copper must be taken to avoid copper deficiency that would be induced by the zinc supplementation. Next, glutamine. It is an amino acid, is the principal source of energy for cells that lines the small intestine and stomach. Glutamine has also prevented stress ulcer triggered by severe burn in the another preliminary studies. Next, vitamin C. It is very useful. Little is known about the effects of vitamin C in peptic ulcer cases. Vitamin C may also help eradicate H. pylori in people with gastritis. Vitamin C may one day prove to have a therapeutic effect for people with peptic ulcer. However, further research in this area is also needed. Herbs that may be helpful. हर्ब्स का हमारे जीवन में बहुत ज्यादा उपयोग है. इनमें लिकोराइस रूट हैज ए लॉन्ग हिस्ट्री ऑफ यूज फॉर स्मूथिंग inflamed and injured mucous membranes in the digestive tract. Licorice may protect the stomach and duodenum by increasing production of mucin. Flavonoids in licorice may also inhibit growth of H. pylori. So, chamomile has a soothing effect on inflamed and irritated mucous membrane. It also high in the epigenin, another flavonoid that has inhibited growth of H. pylori. Chamomile is also available in capsules. Calendula is another plant with anti-inflammatory healing activities that can be used as part of a traditional medicine approach to peptic ulcer. The same amount as chamomile may be used or can be used. Garlic, ये सभी के घरों में उपलब्ध होता है. इसके बहुत ज्यादा उपयोग हैं. गार्लिक हैज बीन रिपोर्टेड टू हैव एंटी हेलिकोबैक्टर एक्टिविटी, यानी एच पाइलोरी की एक्टिविटी को कम करने के लिए गार्लिक का उपयोग घरेलू तौर पे किया जा सकता है. हाउ टू प्रिवेंट this type of infections. To decrease risk of ulcer from H. pylori infection, wash your hands after using the bathroom and before eating or preparing of food. Second, drink water from a safe source. Don't smoke cigarette. Smoking increase the chances of getting an ulcer. Prevention. To decrease the risk of ulcer from NSAID, use other drugs when possible for managing pain. Take the lowest possible dose. Do not take longer than needed. Do not drink alcohol while taking the drugs. So, I must suggest, if you take any medicine with your permission of a doctor. So, these are some, thank you. Thank you so much.